Daijobu? I heard a large crash. Are you okay?
Luckily, I'm okay. But when I was trying to put away some of my tea ceremony equipment, I accidentally dropped one of my favorite teacups, and it shattered all over.
I'm glad to hear that you're okay. Never mind the tea bowl.
Tea bowl? I think you're confused. What I dropped was a teacup.
That's where you're wrong, my dear boy. While it does function as a cup, the vessel that we use for tea ceremony is actually called a chawan, or tea bowl in English.
Really? Why's that? Does it vary from a regular teacup in some way?
Let me teach you different tools used for tea ceremony today. Here is what I will explain. I will cover many tools, so if you are interested in a specific tool, you can check out in the description of our video the time code that allows you to click to the portion you would like to watch. Also, scan this barcode or link is in the description below for more information about each tool.
Who are you talking to, Obachan?
For starters, compared to European-style teacups, the chawan doesn't have a handle, and there are quite a few types of chawan used, depending on the type of tea ceremony you are attending.
I'm confused. Why would you ever need more than just one type of tea bowl? After all the bowl does is bring the tea from the pot to your mouth, right?
The chawan can have various properties that will enhance the flavor of the tea depending on the season. Take, for example, the Tsutsu-chawan. This type of tea bowl is typically longer and made for winter. Now, why do you think that is?
Longer hug and winter. Oh, I know. It's because if it's longer, having less surface area will make it so that the tea will have less exposure to the air, meaning that the tea can retain heat longer.
Oh my, you certainly are a smarty, Kay.
Really, Obachan? Does that mean that there is also a type of tea bowl made for summer? Maybe something that is short and wide, so that the tea can cool down faster?
You sure do catch on quick. That type of tea bowl is called a Hira-chawan. And just as you said, the Hira-chawan is short and stout to help the tea cool off faster in the summer.
Wow, the tea masters really did think of everything.
They sure did. Another type of tea bowl with special properties is the Kumidashi-Chawan. This type of tea bowl has an outward curving lip, so that the aroma of the tea can seep out and entice the guest to take a sip.
Now that we're on the topic, what are some of the other types of tools and equipment needed for the tea ceremony? I'm beginning to doubt that I know anything about tea ceremony at all.
Don't doubt yourself. Tea ceremony is very complex, and even the masters are still learning something each and every time they pour a new glass of tea. I'm sure one piece of equipment you are well aware of is the Chasen.
Chasen? Oh, you mean the bamboo whisk?
Precisely.
I know that one. That's the single piece of bamboo that has been cut into super thin sections so that it can be used to whip matcha. The flexible nature and durability of the bamboo are ideal for mixing tea and creating a bubbly texture when done right.
Correct. And do you know what the name of the special tea kettle in Japanese is?
Oh, we learned this. It's a kama.
Right again. The kama is used to boil water for making tea and is typically a round, stout vessel cast from copper or iron. Oftentimes, the kama is passed around in the family from generation to generation and is unique in design and style.
I forget. What is the ladle used to pour water from the kama into the chawan called again?
That would be the Hishaku, a long bamboo ladle that transfers water from the kettle to the bowl. It's made from bamboo because metal would heat up too fast, making it hard to hold and would warp from the heat of the hot water. When not in use, the Hishaku rests on a special holder called a Futaoki.
The Futaoki? You mean the round little block of bamboo or ceramic with a divot? Doesn't that also hold the lid of the kama sometimes?
Yes, indeed. When the tea ceremony begins, the kettle lid, or futa, is taken and placed on the top of the kama to help keep the water warm.
I have a question. What is the special little box that holds the tea before we brew it called? If I remember correctly, there are 2 different types?
You sure do have an eye for detail. That would be the tea caddy. And as you said, there are 2 different types. Natsume is made from a thin lacquered wood and is meant to hold for Usucha, or thin tea ceremonies. Thin tea is much higher quality. Hence, the design on the tea caddy is typically more eloquent than its counterpart, the charide. A charide is for thick tea and is a bit longer and chunkier.
The little spoon we use to take tea out of the tea caddies is called the Chashaku, right? We use that for measuring out how much tea to put into the cup before adding the water.
Correct again. And the piece of cloth we use to clean the Chashaku is the Fukusa. This special piece of cloth is usually made from a single piece of solid-colored silk without any pattern. Men will usually use a purple Chashaku, and the traditional color for women is red or orange.
Oh, I got a really beautiful deep purple one for my birthday last year. I had no idea that men and women use different colors, though.
It's a small detail, but that is what makes tea ceremony such an impressive art form to learn.
On the topic of fabric, what are those little square pieces of cloth we put down on the table for?
I believe you are referring to the Kobukusa? That would be a 6-inch square piece of fabric used as a coaster for when you put your table down during the tea ceremony. It is not only stylistic, but also protects the table as well. Oftentimes, guests will bring their own Kobukusa in a special wallet called the Kobukusami.
I've heard my teacher also call it a Dashibukusa. Is that the same?
Indeed it is. Some other important pieces of a tea set would be the Kensui, the pot where we dispose of any leftover water, the Mizusashi, the cold water container used to refill the kama, and the Yakan. The Yakan, the water pitcher that we use to refill the Mizusashi at the end of the tea ceremony.
Wow, there's so much! Surely that's everything, right?
You're forgetting the very heart of the tea ceremony, my dear boy.
The heart?
The heart of the tea ceremony is the sunken hearth in the tea room called the lo.
The lo?
The lo is a special hole in a tatami floor that holds the kama and heats up the water. This is only used in the autumn and winter, however.
What is used to heat the water in the spring and summer then?
That would be the furo. This brazier is typically made from unglazed clay. However, iron and bronze ones are also used at times, depending on the host.
My head is spinning. There are so many parts of the tea ceremony, I don't even know where to begin.
You can begin with not running late to your tea ceremony class. Doesn't it start in just a few minutes?
Yikes! I've got to run! Thanks for the lesson, Obachan!
Oh boy, he is always in a rush. Again, if you're interested in learning more about any of the tools, please check the link in the description below. And while at it, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new episodes. Thank you very much for watching.